Hello, friends, and happy Tuesday to you. It is great to be here with you. I hope that you're having a great week. Hope you had a beautiful weekend. We're live on today's Level Up Conversation.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun. Market update. Award-winning financial pro. Get ready. I present to you Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Hello, friends. I'm Winnie Sun, your host, Forbes contributor, CNBC Council member, award-winning financial pro, here to keep you on all things business, trending business in particular. But what makes our show so much fun and why I look forward to joining you each and every week is that because you are part of today's discussion and we are going live, right? I think about on 8 different social media platforms and channels, and we're excited to be joined with you. I hope that you had a beautiful weekend. And do know that your comments are coming in. I see you already coming in. I see Vicky joining us from Facebook Live. Vicky, thank you so much for all your support on social media. And of course, thank you so much for being on today's show. We don't take for granted. We certainly appreciate it. And I see, wow, lots of friends joining us from LinkedIn Live as well. Don't be shy. Let us know where you're joining us from and how your week is going. Now, today, of course, we have quite a bit to talk about. And I always like to start with the financial markets and how the market closed. But let's start there. Today is kind of a positive day. If you watch the markets yesterday, you're like, wow, are things getting better? Are things rebounding? And are better days ahead? Well, I certainly hope so, but this is what we know so far. Yesterday, obviously, the market closed positively across the board. And today, the Dow ended up 337 points in the positive. The Nasdaq also up 96 points, and the S&P 500 up 42 points as well. The stock market continues its sort of 2-day streak here as we're seeing more and continued strong positive corporate earnings coming in. It's corporate earnings time. And so although we were very, very concerned about inflation and the economy and whatnot, just literally a few days ago, last week, but now it seems that investors are feeling a little bit optimistic. They like the news that's coming out of several companies that are reporting earnings, and hopefully this is able to keep the U.S. stock market continue to move positive and forward in a way that will hopefully make up some of the tremendous drops that we've been experiencing the last few weeks, months, and years. Now, all eyes are continuing to be on because right now we're in October, which for those of you who have kids like me, you're thinking about Halloween and all those fun things that kids are have on top of mind. But also the big thing, and some of this is trickling down to the financial markets, of course, is election watch and what I call election dressing watch. Because as you probably heard, today's news show that President Biden is set to release more oil here in the United States. In fact, in the area of 14 million barrels, in fact. This is so that, this oil is from the U.S. emergency reserves. But really what we're trying to do here, or what the government is trying to do here, is to keep gas prices reasonable as we go into midterm elections here in November. Now, this was reported by several different news outlets, and Reuters in particular, but this is what they're doing. They're releasing more oil with the hopes of keeping oil at more reasonable levels so that consumers, when they fill up their gas tanks, don't feel so awful about the current state of the economy and state of inflation and state of a lot of things when it comes to money right now. Now, this, of course, means that there's going to be a drawdown from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Now, this is supposed to happen sometime this week, but the report was shared yesterday. Now, this is supposed to draw down 180 million barrels from the reserve, which was announced, I guess, earlier in 2022. Now, what they're saying now is that the Biden administration has just a very small window of time right now that they need to get gas prices at a more reasonable level so that, I guess, when you go to vote, you're feeling like, well, I'm voting for the best candidate, and maybe, there's hope up ahead. And at least when I filled up my gas tank, it wasn't crazy expensive. So supposedly the White House does not want that $4 a gallon of gas. And they said they want to take this action to get prices at more reasonable levels as we go into the midterm elections in November. So I am calling this, that's right, election window dressing, because I think that's exactly what it is. They're trying to make things sound and feel a little bit better, but let's be honest, is it really going to be better much after November? I don't know. But what I know is better is it's great to see Antoinette joining us from LinkedIn Live from Tampa, Florida. Welcome to the show. It is great to have you with us. And of course, Sadiq is also joining us on LinkedIn Live. And I believe, Sadiq, you're joining us from Florida as well. So welcome to the show. It is such a treat to have you with us. And I'm loving all the content that you're sharing with us online as well, Sadiq. So thanks so much for that. Now, on to other news. You may have seen, where is this positivity coming from, right? We talked about how the market did very, very well today, did very, very well yesterday, and yet just a couple days ago, the market was not doing so well. We were very concerned about inflation and that things were slowing down and all these things, and we're going into the holidays, and what would this look like? Well, today, one company certainly did quite well, and so Netflix reported, and they beat their third quarter expectations. Netflix, yes, the same company that just literally months ago was supposedly bleeding subscribers. So what changed, you might say? Well, Netflix seems to have added over 2 million subscribers, in the area of 2.41 to be exact, which is about a million more than were forecasted. So where are these subscribers coming from? Are they coming from, California? Are they coming from New York, from Florida? Like, where are they coming from? No, actually, they're not really coming from here in the United States or Canada. In fact, the United States and Canada only added about 100,000 of that number. So where'd they come from? Well, believe it or not, the Asia Pacific region, which, only you could guess why more subscribership in the Asia Pacific area, but Asia Pacific area added 1.43 million subscribers. So I was thinking, why did this happen? I Googled a little bit, didn't find exact answers, but I'm wondering, is it because more people are staying home, just like we did maybe about 2 years ago, and maybe they need more entertainment, and therefore they're starting to subscribe, and maybe there's content that's keeping them there. They're excited about that new content being shared on the platform. I don't really know. But certainly, Netflix is saying they're very optimistic, and that they're also optimistic about their future advertising business that's going to be coming along. And it's really interesting if you remember, and I would love to get your thoughts on this, right? And certainly, Sadiq, I know you're talking about Turkey. Vicky's talking about China. But let me ask you this. Do you remember, it wasn't that long ago when we used to have regular TV that was free off the air, right? And then we would have to deal with commercials. So then people were starting to complain about commercials. And so they introduced cable TV, which you had to pay for. And then some people loved it because they got movies, they got sports, they uninterrupted entertainment, right? And then, like, now it's almost like it's going full circle. Now, like Netflix, Hulu, a lot of these platforms are offering sort of discounted streaming platform, but you got to deal with commercials all over again. It wasn't that long ago when we had to deal with commercials, but the television was free. So not sure what you think about that, but I thought it was really interesting how things are sort of going full circle, and it's just one way or the other, they're going to always have us figure out a way for us to have to pay, and then pay a little bit more until we don't add that many more subscribers, and then they might introduce a cheaper platform. But it wasn't that long ago when it was actually free, and we just dealt with commercials. So maybe that's like an area that has to be revisited. I don't know. And talking about things that are costing more, let's talk about this. All right. Some of you are going to be celebrating Thanksgiving. I know I am, and I'm not sure what that's going to look like, whether it's going to be at my house, at my mom's house. I'm not sure what that's going to look like. But as you know, the star of Thanksgiving is typically the turkey. So we got to talk about the turkey right now because, many of you who celebrate Thanksgiving as well, something on the table is usually a turkey. which is around, I don't know, 5 pounds, 8 pounds, 16 pounds if you're serving a lot of family. Like, that's usually a pretty big bird on the table. Now, just last year, turkey was about $1.15 a pound for this turkey. Now, my friends, it's almost $2 a pound, which you might say, well, that when it doesn't sound like that bad. That's a 73% increase on your cost of turkey in one single year. Now, did you get a 73% increase in your paycheck? Because I certainly didn't. And so that just gives you an idea of how great this matter of inflation will be. So some of I know I've seen some discussion of this. If people are saying, well, maybe this year I won't be serving turkey, maybe I'll be serving chicken, maybe I'll be serving, I don't know, whatever else. But the thing is, most proteins, most food in general has all increased in value as it is. And it's just such a huge increase from just literally 1 year ago. And of course, we just heard about the increase on Social Security for those who are collecting Social Security starting in January. It's going to be an increase of over 8%. An 8% increase and a 73% increase are very far, if we would agree, right? So let me ask you this. How many of you are still going to have turkey for Thanksgiving? And if it in fact has increased this much, is that going to impact how many people you celebrate with, how many people you invite over, other dishes that you're going to be having? Like, are you going to sort of reduce and offset that increase in cost and do it a little differently, a little bit more creatively? Or are you going to still go all in? You're going to still celebrate Thanksgiving like you always have, because obviously can't put a price on memories and the people that we love, right? So let me know where you're going to be, because I'm really curious. I'd like to get a sense of knowing this information. I always like to give you information as soon as I learn about it, and hopefully that's sooner than later, right? Instead of like a week before Thanksgiving and you're having to scramble and get your turkey. Maybe since we're giving you now more than a month in advance, you can kind of brainstorm and what your Thanksgiving budget will look like. Will it mean less bird, more bird, same size bird, just different? Are you going to adjust? Are you going to just do Thanksgiving as normal? Are you going to maybe do a potluck? How is this going to look like? In fact, this year's a really interesting year, because what I learned doing a little bit more research is that over 47 million turkeys have actually been affected by this thing called an avian flu. And this avian flu has definitely created a lot of havoc in the turkey industry. In fact, this flu has been detected in 42 different states. And like normally it happens more in the colder months, and therefore it wouldn't impact Thanksgiving quite as much because it takes time for the turkeys to grow up, right? But unfortunately, this year, many parts of the United States here were hit in warmer months, such as July. And so that's really put a lot of impact on the turkey production. This is according to USDA data as well. And so that's part of why the price of turkey has gone sky high as well. It's just like there's less volume of turkey. So perhaps maybe this year, I feel like now that I'm sharing this information with you, I feel like maybe at my house, because I don't think we are like we're used to having turkey for Thanksgiving, but I don't think it's a make it or break it. I think we can be flexible. I think for us, for my family, maybe we can go with chicken. Maybe that will be just fine. But curious to see how you feel. I see CrossX Fighter from Joshua joining us from YouTube. Like, thank you so much for being here, and happy Tuesday to you as well. Thank you so much for being here. Sadiqa says, I am coming from Turkey. I don't need to eat it. How fun. I like that. I like the way you do that. Okay. Vicky is saying bird flu again. And Vicky saying, not me. Okay. Big bird. And then Sadiq is saying this year is expensive. And then Vicky's also saying no chicken joke. Yeah. So, kind of a quiet day on financial news today. There's some other stuff, but I think these are the things that I think is enough to give you a sense of what happened in financial markets today and some of the business news that happened today. There's going to be, of course, more to look forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to be joined again with my good friend, Greg Nibbler, and a friend to many of you as well, longtime tech reporter. I know I didn't say that much, but Greg is definitely a big deal. I met him years ago when he was big time host on Digital Trends, tech reporter there. And we met there and we became really good friends. And he was there for a really long time and certainly a legend when it comes to all things tech news, tech journalism, tech reporter, and just an all around great person. So hopefully you can join us again tomorrow. Of course, we love to see you. And if there's anything else that piques your interest that you think we should share in the show tomorrow, don't be shy. Definitely ping me on social media. Tag me is probably the easiest way so I can see what you're sharing. I don't check direct message as much as often as I should. So if there's something you want to get a hold of me, definitely tag me, post it, or you can just tag me and say, hey, Winnie, check your DM, and I'll make sure to jump in there too. But I appreciate you being here with us. Happy Tuesday to all of you. And thank you so much for watching, supporting our program. Take a moment to share this show with someone that you care about. And when you do, make sure to at Winnie Sun so I know, so I can properly thank you for that. And as a reminder, you can find full episodes of Level Up with Winnie Sun on NASDAQ, Amazon Fire, and Roku. And just a tease, because you're here with me today, next week, I have two really phenomenal interviews I can't wait to share with you. Two powerhouses, one on Tuesday, one on Thursday, on top of all the other fun shows that we're doing, of course, between now and then. But definitely put that in your calendar. It's going to be 2:30 Pacific or 5:30 Eastern, or adjust that to the time zone that you will be in. But next Tuesday and Thursday, you're not going to want to miss out those episodes. I think you're going to find them quite eye-opening. And with that, don't forget to check out Yes Factor with Winnie Sun, now also on Apple Podcasts, and like our stream. Make sure you get that alerts, and that way you never miss our show. But because I definitely don't want to miss seeing you. Thank you, and see you. Be well, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care now.